TGIF, you crazy kids, March 19th, 2021. You're watching the Daily Mix TV. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. Hope you guys had a great St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday. I have been sick as a dog since Tuesday night, so unfortunately I didn't even get to enjoy it. I apologize for not being around the last couple of days. It's just been one thing after another. It's like a cold or flu, so hopefully it goes away soon. At least I know it's not COVID. On to the news. The NFL is making bank, and this time it involves a major first in both professional sports and entertainment. The league announced the latest $100 billion plus deal on Thursday. The package, which begins in 2023, covers deals with NBC, Fox, CBS, ABC, and shows a return to the NFL's ability to lock down major commercial deals. Now, it's also the first to offer a digital broadcast exclusive, get this, to Amazon, who's going to take over Thursday Night Football. CBS and Fox have retained their flagship Sunday afternoon football games, while NBC keeps its Sunday Night Football program. ESPN's Monday Night Football is augmented by 2 Super Bowls in 2026 and 2030 respectively, and a handful of primetime games through the season for its corporate network sibling, ABC. Now, the thing about the NFL, it has been slammed with controversy after controversy over the last number of years. Their ratings had tanked at one point. Super Bowl, as we said the other day, was down this year significantly, the lowest in 15 years, if I remember correctly. So for NFL to be able to do this shows a marked return to their capabilities and certainly the strength of the NFL brand. So it's going to be interesting to see how the ratings play out across all of the networks and what's going on. But for a second, I want to talk about Amazon. You know, for Amazon to have been able to do this is phenomenal for Prime Video members. And I say that because when you look at what's going on in the streaming space right now, you've got HBO Max, you've got Peacock, you've got Paramount Plus, which just launched. You've got Disney Plus, obviously. You got a handful of really big players in the market. And for Amazon to have been able to do this is just amazing. So I'm excited to see what they do from an exclusive point of view on those Thursday night football games. So only time will tell. The last year through the lockdowns and the pandemic have been an interesting time for consumer products and innovation. As an example, Arm & Hammer is putting its best foot forward in the foot care aisle. The company is introducing its new cleansing and refreshing foot wipes, which remove dirt, sweat, and other impurities from feet in one quick wipe. Featuring its Fresh Guard technology, the wipes also contain baking soda and a textured design that eliminates and neutralizes odor from the feet, according to the company. Now, you can find Arm & Hammer cleansing and refreshing foot wipes for about $5 at Amazon, Target, and Walmart. You know, we've talked about this ad nauseum over the last year. Any time you can get your product or your brand into multiple sections of a store, multiple aisles, specific to grocery, certainly for mass market players like Target and Walmart, anytime you can do that, you're buffering against a heavy concern with respect to consumer spending. As we discussed, consumer spending dropped 3% in the month of February. That is a big nosedive. So when you look at what this brand is doing, what Arm & Hammer has done, you know, for them to have been able to catapult out of just the baking soda, they've got their oral care line, they've got a lot of other cleansing products in the cleaning aisle. Now they're moving into foot care. So big player, big game, really interesting to see the development around foot wipes, especially given the pandemic. A lot of folks, myself and my wife Kylie very much included, we don't allow people to walk into our home with their shoes on. That's because you don't want what's outside in your home, especially on your floor when, we even have a dog, Rolo, who we wipe his paws every single time he comes into the apartment. So for Arm & Hammer to develop a product like this is very smart, especially when you get into more suburban and rural areas in terms of that notion of staying clean and staying fresh. But in a place like New York City, in a major urban environment, you have a lot of construction, which means a lot of dust and a lot of soot. that can blacken your floors, that can blacken your feet. So this is a smart move, especially from an urban point of view. Can't wait to see how it performs. Looks like New York's hometown airline is about to fly the coop. It looks like JetBlue Airways is considering moving corporate jobs from their Queens headquarters to Florida. According to an internal memo that was released by Cranes, quote, "We are exploring a number of paths, including staying in Long Island City, moving to another space in New York City, and or shifting a to-be-determined number of Long Island City roles to existing support centers in Florida." The first issue at hand is that JetBlue's lease for its Brewster Building office in Long Island City, that expires in 2 years, 2023. Now, the company started out of Forest Hills, Queens, 21 years ago, but moved west to Long Island City in 2012. It had considered at one point relocating to Orlando, but they decided to stay in Queens in return for a reported $30 million in tax breaks, investments, and marketing programs from both the state and the city, which said about 1,000 JetBlue employees would work in the 200,000 square foot Long Island City office near the Queensboro Bridge. So that's amazing that they were able to broker that kind of deal at that time. Remember, the city was growing by leaps and bounds. A lot of that had to do with pay-to-play scenarios and things that were going on underneath the public's eye. And when JetBlue had threatened to move, because I remember this, when they had threatened to move to Orlando, everyone went postal in terms of city governance because they were like, wait a minute, that's New York's hometown airline. That's how they've positioned themselves. We can't let that happen. Now, back to the story. Times have changed. Like all airlines, JetBlue has been unfortunately devastated by the COVID-19 pandemic. They've survived thanks to payouts from the government aid. Now, it's expected to be a number of years before tourism travel really starts to recover in the city, certainly business travel in a place like New York, given work from home protocols. Now, a JetBlue spokeswoman confirmed the contents of that internal memo and said the airline plans to finalize job relocation decisions later this year. If JetBlue does this, I don't know that they can justify being New York's hometown airline anymore. I mean, when you look at T5, Terminal 5 out of JFK, which I've been a huge fan of JetBlue since the day they launched. I was one of the first people on the Mint flights. I've basically tested almost every product they've ever released. So to hear this news is really sad. And I know have known a number of JetBlue employees over the years. And they are passionate, dedicated people who love their job. Problem is, most of them are New York based. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I think if JetBlue does do this, they're going to lose a lot of respect in the Northeast. That's going to start to hurt their gates and their terminal programs. So we'll keep an eye on this for you and report back later in the year when they finalize that job relocation decision. Here's one for a flavorful Friday. Pepsi announces the nationwide rollout of Pepsi Mango. It's their first new permanent flavor in cola in 5 years. Now, beginning this coming Monday, March 22nd, Pepsi Mango will be available nationwide. The new entry is a surprising mix of cola and tropical fruit flavor and marks the brand's first permanent release of both a regular and zero sugar variety at the same time. Now, to support the launch, check this out. Pepsi created a new national TV commercial, which is also running digitally. I love this. Check it out.
Anything could happen ever since I met you. Let me take you dancing.
Introducing Pepsi Mango.
Set to the uplifting top 40 hit Take You Dancing by award-winning superstar Jason Derulo. The spot shows a mango pop out of a fruit bowl and roll over to its perfect match, a can of Pepsi, to create that exciting new flavor, Pepsi Mango. Quote, "Our consumers are always looking for new and exciting flavors, so we couldn't be more excited to introduce them to Pepsi Mango. Our team has created a surprisingly perfect match with Pepsi Mango, combining the delicious taste of Pepsi Cola with the flavor of a sweet, juicy mango. Mango is one of the most popular fruits in the world, and it serves as the perfect complement to Pepsi, creating an irresistible combination that our fans can enjoy everywhere throughout the year. And that's Todd Kaplan, who's the Vice President of Marketing at Pepsi. Now, one thing about launch programs and new flavors, excuse me, sorry, like I said, cold and flu. It's not easy to go through this. When you do a new flavor launch or you're launching a new product, when you go to do your marketing protocols and you put together your program, you've got to look at how you can actually establish similarities through the line of what you're doing. So you want it to be synonymous throughout. In this case, remember I had said, in the spot it shows a mango pop out of a fruit bowl and roll over to its perfect match, a can of Pepsi. So continuing that match thematic, which is very smart, Pepsi Mango is launching another campaign dedicated to helping real people find their perfect match, even with the most surprising person. Dating has never been more challenging. God knows that's true in the middle of a pandemic, with an overwhelming number of dating apps and online platforms, yet minimal in-person interactions and not a lot of opportunities to meet those wonderful people that you think are cute. So in early April, Pepsi is going to switch over its ad inventory on select social media platforms. This is the coolest part of this. They're going to turn them into real dating advertorials. They're going to put up photos and profile information, that kind of thing. Now, here's a bit of a Flashback Friday for you, and we're going to get into Flashback Friday in a second. But the series, partly inspired by the video dating craze of the 80s. You might remember it from different movies and things that we saw when my generation, Gen X, when we were kids, is going to introduce singles to the world with fun personality introductions and contact information. So they're really closing the loop on this match idea through the line of marketing and what they do. So Pepsi Mango is going to create avenues to ship as many pairs as possible, all to help singles find their perfect match, like Pepsi and Mango. Now, when it comes to creating surprising perfect matches, Pepsi Mango, according to the company, knows no bounds. Next month, Pepsi, together with longtime partners at Viacom CBS and their in-house branded content studio Velocity, are going to unveil a fully integrated perfect match themed series starring some of the most adored dating reality show stars. Now, fans should stay tuned for more details in the next few weeks. So again, beginning on this coming Monday, on the 22nd, Pepsi Mango is going to be available at grocery stores, mass market retailers, and convenience stores nationwide in both regular and sugar varieties. They're only going to come in 12-ounce 12-packs and 20-ounce bottles. No 2 liters and no single-liter bottles yet. So let's pull back some of the layers on this onion, because this is a big one. You've got the launch. You've got the ad supporting the launch. Then you got a campaign circling around this notion of matching and dating, which I have to say, for Pepsi, this is actually a stark departure from their past marketing efforts. They've always been very smart. I mean, look, as we all know, and I've said this ad nauseum, I have always been a Diet Coke drinker. Of course, that stopped this year for a whole lot of reasons. But I've always, when I was a kid, I loved Pepsi because of Michael Jackson and the choice of a new generation, that tagline, what was going on at that time. For Pepsi to have continued the music thematic became problematic over the course of its life. So what ended up happening was they took a departure from music and went a different route. Now they're coming back to that a little bit, but this new dating idea, obviously the marketing team and the development team did their homework, because if you look at surveys, if you look at studies, and you see what's going on with respect to Gen Xers, millennials, and certainly Zoomers, Gen Z, right now, that notion of cabin fever, loneliness, the need for human interaction is paramount. So Pepsi's capitalizing on that in the coolest of ways. And to use dating reality show stars is a very smart strategic move for them, because there's a built-in audience already. So they've got, they ticked all the boxes on this program, which is fantastic. So congratulations, Pepsi. Can't wait to see what this one looks like. All right, for this week's Flashback Friday, 40 years ago yesterday, this cult classic hit the airwaves.
Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. It should have been somebody else.
Yep, that's right. On March 18th, 1981, the unlikeliest of heroes flew haphazardly into our hearts. Starring William Catt, Connie Selica, and Robert Culp, Greatest American Hero lasted a short 3 seasons. Now, I will say, like many shows in the 80s, this has survived the test of time from a fan base point of view. I mean, think about this. It was only 3 seasons, yet it's amazing how many people, even those who weren't alive to see it when it aired, myself very much included, I was alive and I remember watching it live on TV when it debuted, we all love this show. And of course, we all sing,
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
all right, guys, I'm out of time. I hope you have a great weekend. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email thedailymixtv@gmail.com. We'll see you guys on Monday.